Coming up on this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society, we're announcing a new patch for the show. It fixes all the things you didn't notice and ruins the one thing you were enjoying. With this, you can jump very high, so the Nintendo Cartridge Society jumps very high with you. Welcome to Nintendo Cartridge Society. My name is Patrick Ellers, and I am joined, as I am always joined, by my co-host, Matt Acevedo. We've got a good show for you today. We're going to be talking about the news from the week, including a little update to Mario Kart World. And then on Thursday, Mark is coming back for our part 2 of the ABCs of Donkey Kong. But in the meantime, please welcome to the show, from the Adventum podcast and good friend of the show, Matt Acevedo. Matt, how's it going?
I am doing great, Patrick. Thank you so much for having me. I love coming on your show. I love getting to talk Nintendo.
Yes.
And I just love talking with you, man.
I love talking with you as well. And it's I feel like now we are in such a good period after the new Nintendo thing to just like have people on and just be like, what have you been doing with it? You know, like that there's everyone's having like a fresh new experience with the Nintendo thing. And so like thank you for helping me with the news thing.
Of course.
Thank you for hanging out with me for an hour. Thank you for giving me your perspective on all this kind of stuff.
And thank you for letting me text you kind of in the middle of the night with things I'm excited about for Nintendo. I don't think he'll respond to this, but he's like the only one that can really talk to you about this.
Yeah. Here it's I do have that relationship. People know that like if it's a Nintendo thing that like they don't know who else in their life they can text about it, it's like text Patrick.
Yeah,
it comes to me.
Yeah.
So thank you, Matt. I'm very excited to talk about everything that's been going on. But just first, want to shout out the old Patreon, patreon.com/Nintendo Cartridge Society. You can go over there, and if you're supporting us at the 8-bit or 16-bit levels, you get access to our once-a-month episode of miniseries. We are about to start NCS at the movies. We're taking a little break from NCS Arcade. We were playing like an extra game a month and talking about it and recording. And now we're like, if we're playing a whole game, it should be a Switch 2 game, and it should be on the main feed. So yeah. The Patreon stuff isn't at the movies. We are doing 2 of them in July because Matt, 2 big movies coming out. There are many big movies coming out in July, but 2 big movies: Superman, Fantastic Four,
and both of them I think are going to be really, really good.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking right now, that they're both going to be really, really good?
That's how I feel, and for DC in general, and I don't know if you like DC stuff. I love the comic books. I haven't really liked a DC movie in a very long time.
Right.
So, but for me, I am excited for the Superman. I like James Gunn.
Me too.
I love his Guardians.
I feel like he hasn't made a bad movie.
Yeah, and I feel like based off the trailers, it seems like he understands Superman very well. To me, it's not Snyder. Snyder is a take on Superman.
Yeah.
And there's room for that if you like Snyder. But this is like
there's room for that, and Matt, it's in the past. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now we're on to something a little bit brighter, a little bit more fun. So anyway, we will be releasing an episode on the Patreon about that. But if you are interested in our episodes of NCS Arcade, we did 3 whole seasons of it. Games mostly available on Nintendo Switch Online that Mark and I talked about. We've got NCS Detective Club on there. NCS Goes Broadway. A lot of fun stuff. And we occasionally do release things for people who are following us at the free level. So even if you don't have any money to kick our way, that's fine. Go follow us for free and you'll get some stuff there, some bonus stuff. So yeah. Also, if you are not in our Discord, you should be in our Discord.
Absolutely.
Because people are, Matt's in there.
Yes.
Matt's in there talking about Nintendo stuff, giving us updates on Pikmin 4, which is awesome. But yes, email us at Nintendo Cartridge Society at gmail.com. I love it. And we'll send you an invitation. You can come in there and chat with us about Nintendo all day long. And when, a new Donkey Kong game is coming out in just a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Where are we going to be talking about that, Matt?
We're going to be talking about right here.
Well, yes, but on the Discord.
Also on the Discord. Sorry, we are going to
But yes, for sure we're going to be talking about it here.
Yeah. Just in general, next month's going to be huge. So.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Well, next month we as this episode releases, it is July.
Right. Oh my gosh. So this month.
Yeah.
And it's only like Donkey Kong comes out in a week.
Yeah, it's like the 16th or something like that. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like, isn't it next? It's like a week from like Thursday, right? I can't remember off the top of my head.
I can't remember.
But it's the
off the top
same
of my
day
head
that
either.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 come out.
There you
and
go.
I think I'm like, this is the time to buy.
I think it's the week after because
Cool.
Superman is the end of next week.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's like the 17th.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's Superman one week, Donkey Kong the next week, Fantastic Four the week after. I think
July is gonna be great.
July is popping off, and
Yeah.
we're very excited. All right, Matt, let's get into what we've been playing this week. Okay, I feel like the lineup of what I've been playing has not changed very much. I'm playing Mario Kart World, of course. I'm playing Breath of the Wild because it feels like a brand new game in 60 FPS. And I mean, first of all, I just quickly want to touch on that early in the game, I was like, I'm going to go to the Lost Woods, A, because I want to see how it runs, right? But B, because first of all, there are 4 shrines in there, so like that's a good place to. But whatever, I was like, I want to get to the Master Sword as quick as I can. I forgot that you need 13 hearts to lift that thing.
Yeah, it sucks your energy out if you don't.
If you don't have the hearts, you die.
Yeah.
And I don't have that many hearts yet. So I had this plan of like, go get the Master Sword.
Yeah.
And now I gotta keep wandering around.
So I guess it'd be faster to go to the Divine Beast because they give you a full heart.
They give you a heart, yeah,
and not just a piece of a heart. So
right. So you would, and you get whatever like shrines along the way.
Yeah.
I should do more Divine Beasts. I just did the one, the Zora one.
Oh, is that the one you did the first time too?
It was.
That's fascinating. That was my first one I did too.
Really?
Yeah. What? I wonder what everyone else did.
I mean, I think that's a common first one. I think that one and the Rito Village. I think those are the 2 most common like first ones. I don't think anyone starts with the Goron.
I don't think so either. It's because it's kind of intimidating.
It's intimidating. You're on fire the whole time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really know where I'm going next. Right now, I'm kind of just like, wandering the countryside, discovering stuff, and falling in love with the game as though it were new. But Matt, what have you been playing?
Oh, I've been playing a lot of stuff. I've also been playing a lot of Mario Kart World. I think I've already put like 30 hours into it.
Whoa. How are you spending that time in Mario Kart World? There are a lot of different like flavors of that game.
It's a great question. It says I play both docked and a handheld. When I'm in docked, I'm playing. I started off. I 3-star every single regular Grand Prix.
Okay.
I am trying to
at all of the speeds, 50, 100.
So I made a mistake. Because in the past it wasn't like this. In the past it was like, at least I don't remember it being like this. But I remember to get 3 stars, like to 100%, truly 100% of the game, you had to 3-star every single circuit, 50, 100, and 150.
Yeah.
But my friend was like, dude, you can just play 150, and if you get 3 stars, it's 3 stars, 150 and 100.
Does it? It
does.
Retroactively goes back and does them?
I don't know if that's just a new thing or if that's. I don't remember that at all.
No, I don't remember that either.
So I did do it the harder way, which added more game time. But
which is fine.
Yeah. But I did 3-star all of them in Grand Prix and mirror mode, and I'm working on exhibition or knockout tour because
those are much
so
tougher to 3-star. Yeah,
I have I think probably 4 of the circuits 3-starred.
Okay, that's
I'm
impressive.
Like 5, thanks, dude. The rest are like 2 stars because I missed one. You missed one.
Right, and then you get knocked out of the exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and like it's so cutthroat that like it's almost easier to get first in the final stretch of it than it is in the like first, right?
It is. I feel like the start is really tough for that first
brutal,
lap.
Yeah. Well, because it's 24 racers, and the back like 10 of them, as you approach that gate
Yeah.
that will like eliminate 4 of you, everyone unloads all of their items.
Yep.
Because of course, right?
Yeah.
Like this is your last shot to stay in the race.
Yeah.
And it just becomes like absolute chaos.
Yeah.
In a way that I don't know how to defend against.
Yeah.
Or what are your like strategies for Knockout Tour?
Knockout Tour is a different game to me than Grand Prix.
I love this. I love this.
I'm serious. I'm like,
yeah.
And I had my original build because I like to go for top speed when I do Grand Prix, and I still do top speed. So I'll do my Wario. I'll do specifically the it's like the road raid or the like leather jacket Wario.
yeah. Good,
on his
good.
bullet bill like bike. You know.
Yeah, it's like a trike,
It's
right?
like a trike. Yeah. And because he has great top speed, acceleration isn't great, but great top speed, decent handling, and that's great for Grand Prix because it's pretty. I feel like it's pretty steady.
Yeah.
Knockout Tour, I had to change my game completely, and I always use for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I would always do heavy weighted characters for that top speed. But for Knockout Tour, because of the chaos and
this is fascinating.
Yeah, I've changed my strategy completely because you get hit by items so
all
much.
the time.
I sacrifice top speed for acceleration.
Yeah.
So I use Toad, a train engineer Toad.
Good. That's a good costume.
Thank you. And I use that on the warp pipe bike. Because when the recovery time for
real quick,
it's almost instant.
Yeah.
Which is so helpful in Knockout Tour because
you're
not
always
really
getting knocked off the bike.
You're always getting knocked out. It doesn't matter how far ahead you are. There's so many items. You're never going to reach that top speed that you're going to get in Grand Prix.
This is good. This is really smart.
And
Matt. I love this.
Thanks, man. And the tracks, like the segments, in Grand Prix, you can get away with not having quick acceleration because I feel like the tracks are longer. If that makes sense, while the checkpoints are shorter in Knockout Tour, even though there's more checkpoints,
right?
Every gate is like a little shorter than like.
There's still like a pretty solid straightaway on like lots of parts of the Knockout Tour.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess if you're just like wrestling with the hazards and shells being thrown at you, like, what does it matter? It's better to be able to recover. And accelerate fast.
I found that,
smart.
dude. I really do think it's the quick recovery is the move. Which is a bummer because I love my heavy characters.
Have you unlocked? It sounds like you've unlocked a lot of the costumes. Have you unlocked them all?
I've locked every costume.
Yeah.
I'm missing like 1 or 2 grunts. Like.
Yeah.
I'm like I don't know. I played a lot, and I think the only way to get some of those grunts are for
Kamek to turn you into them. Yeah. Exactly.
So I'm missing like 2, which is frustrating.
it's very frustrating, but like. The game is so, and I've said this on the show before, but the game is so like unchecklisty. Yeah. Like it doesn't show you what you're missing really.
Yeah.
And especially like in the free roam.
It's like one of my biggest gripes about free roam.
Yes. Agreed.
It feels too mindless and like I don't know what I'm building towards. Like.
Right, and you're not really building towards anything, right?
Yeah.
You're really just like.
Yeah.
And it's because the game doesn't have a list of P-switches in each area or like it has a running count of how many you've done, but that's it. And
just the question blocks.
Yes,
but
and the Peach medallions. It has those 3.
But on the map, if you go over a location, it just shows that you're missing X question block, but it doesn't show how many P blocks are.
Or any Peach medallions either.
So it's like, it feels a little mindless, but I still I had to really be in the mood for it, and so my trick is like I play a lot online Knockout Tour, Grand Prix. But then when I'm zoning out is when I go explore and like try to do
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because like I do think that the game would probably be more fun and like I feel like I could play it more as a game.
Yeah.
Right? As like an open world game. If it had those things that were like tracking that progress,
which
right?
is like a very, when I hear open world, that's why I'm disappointed in that UI. Like the open world, we've had decades now of like really good UI on a map for open world, and like
Matt, I'm playing Breath of the Wild right now.
Yeah, like, that's a Nintendo game. Like,
that's the obvious point of comparison that does it so well.
Yeah.
That like. It feels to me like it must be an intentional design choice that they don't want you playing it like it's a checklisty game, right? That they want you just like driving around randomly encountering stuff, which is cool, and I respect that idea, but it's just like not in tune with how people play games.
Yeah,
you know?
I totally agree.
So yeah, it's something that I really struggle with, because I think there is an element of that, like, no, we're not giving you a list. You're going to be amazed and delighted every time you find a P switch, or every time you unlock a new costume, or like baddie to drive as.
Yeah.
And that's all true, and I am surprised and delighted every time.
Yeah.
So they succeed there.
And I think in particular, because I don't know what your sticker is on your online account, but I do think that says a lot about a person.
Okay, all right. What does it say that I don't know?
I just think, like, because it's not
That's
just
so
you're
funny, man.
choosing. Okay,
Yeah.
Because like in my head, I'm like, okay, I can't just do like a question block P switch.
Right.
I have to do one that's like that was a power. Sorry. Not a
P
question
switch?
block sticker.
Right.
Not that, because you can just run over those or whatever. But the P blocks, the P
Right,
switches. I'm
sure.
butchering this naming, by the way.
I think you're nailing it.
Okay, cool. But like, if there's a really hard one and it gives me a cool sticker, people
Right.
know I did the really
Matt
hard
did
one.
that one.
Or if there's because the Peach medallions are also very hard to get, and I don't know if they're kind of tricky to find in general. So I feel like if you find a good Peach medallion, I think you have
sure.
to, and then just in the context of like what it gives you, I just think it says a lot about a person.
Right. Okay. So I've remembered what mine is, but I don't remember where I got it.
Okay.
Is the thing. It's the 8-bit Yoshi, or 16-bit Yoshi
Mario Kart
sticker. Yeah.
I think I just got that one. That was a Peach medallion in the city, and I literally just got that before. I got
okay.
here.
Great.
Yeah, it's like this front view, and he's like,
Oh no, not front view. It's the side
Or
view.
side
And
view.
he's sticking his tongue out.
I don't have the sticking the tongue out. Oh, so I have a different Yoshi than
I
you
think
do.
there's a bunch of different Yoshis. We'll have to compare after we're done recording. But this is, so what is yours?
Mine is, I found a Peach medallion. I don't remember where, but it's like a fire flower, like coffee. It's like coffee.
Oh, that's awesome.
It says coffee. I'm like, oh heck yeah.
Heck yeah, fire flower coffee.
Yeah, I mean, I love coffee.
Okay, this is good. This is fascinating.
Yeah.
And I love the sort of like evolving conversation that we're having on this show about free roam and like what its frustrations give to you and what they take away.
It's so frustrating because I am like, we're talking and I'm having a blast talking about this.
Right?
Like I like the stickers. The stickers make me really happy.
I wish I really liked on Wii U when they had like stickers that were like across games.
Yeah.
And you had like you could post them on like what was the Miiverse?
The Miiverse.
Yeah. And like just there being the sort of like unified, I like a unified progression system. I like achievements or trophies or whatever.
Yeah.
And Nintendo dabbled with that for just a second, and then they
Yeah.
were like, no, never again.
Like I like that. They need that better UI, dude. Like
yeah,
they need it, and I hate that like Universal Studios Nintendo World has a better like UI system.
Oh, that's interesting.
Than Mario Kart World,
Yeah, and I do like that Super Nintendo World, like the app and like tracking my progress.
Yeah,
on,
and you can
like
like see what did I miss. It's like, oh, you didn't hit every single Koopa Kid.
Right.
I'm like, oh, I could try that next time.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
It gives you a sense of like a direction.
Right. Well, and like something to do on your second visit.
Yeah.
For example. Also, I love that /hate that after you play a game, like play one of the games at Super Nintendo World, that the next time you play it, it's hard mode.
I know. You can't do it by yourself. I've gone by myself, and like you can't do Piranha Plant Challenge or
no way.
You could do Goomba you have to. The Goomba and the Koopa Troopa Paratroopa one you could do by yourself.
Right.
You cannot do the Thwomp Challenge by yourself.
No, I know. I was Sarah and I and one of her nieces, I can't remember which one, that we were trying the hard mode of it, and it was like impossible.
Yeah.
The three of us working together, and we couldn't do it.
So yeah, I'm missing that, but I would like to have a UI system.
Sure, that's something just a little bit more. Yeah.
And that's not to say I think there's room for updates. Personally,
I think
they will
too. So here are a couple places. Oh, I just want to. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. But one of the places where I assume that there absolutely will be updates is that both Donkey Kong and Pauline only have 2 costumes.
Yeah.
And we've seen that Donkey Kong Bonanza is full of them buying clothes with like different stat boosts.
Yeah.
Like some of those outfits are making their way to World, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
I feel that.
They're going to update the game for sure.
I know we're gonna talk more about World later, so
Right,
there's a
right.
lot to say.
Right, holding your tongue a little bit.
So that's one of the games I've been playing.
Okay, great.
I've been playing 2 other ones. I just 100%ed Pikmin 4 finally a year and a half later. Finally got to it, and I was obsessed. Once I spent 30 minutes in the game, when I booted it up when I first got it, I think I played 10 minutes. I'm like, this is cute, and something else came out, and I was
Sure.
But now I 100%ed. I played it up in Ashland, Oregon, while my wife was doing Oregon Shakespeare Festival up there, and
Oh, that's awesome.
I was like playing in the woods, and I also got me back into Pikmin Bloom, which I think I was
Yeah.
sending you a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and it's you've been participating in our group
Mushroom
challenges
battles,
in the Discord too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I adored Pikmin 4. I think it's my favorite Pikmin. I think it's a must play for Nintendo fans. It's
Right?
people don't. I think it's such a weird game that if you've never played it, you're just like, I don't really get this. I can see where you think that.
Yes.
Just give it an hour.
Well, and it's also like it's such a good introduction to Pikmin. Like
It totally is.
because it's the first one that I like fell in love with. I had like dabbled with Pikmin 3 when it first came out on Wii U. That was hurting for stuff to play on Wii U. And liked it conceptually, but it was 4 that like blew the doors off it for me, where I was like, yes, this is now a thing that I have to be a part of. Went back and played Pikmin's 1 and 2. And 1 is, I think, also still a masterpiece. 1 is super good. And 2 is not without its charms.
Right.
But yeah, 4 is so easy to like, just like.
And it's got Ochi, dude. And
It's got Ochi.
I fell in love with this dog. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my, we cannot not let anything bad happen.
No,
to this dog.
protect Ochi at all costs.
Yeah, and having Ochi, I loved the gameplay aspect of it because I really felt like it's always been a command game, like a kind of like a strategy.
Yeah, totally.
But with Ochi, I really like the divide and conquer of it. And now with your Pikmin, you always had divide and conquer, but I felt like what I mean by that is having Ochi as like a second kind of player one that you could switch to, made my timing and made me really want to push for these time challenges and completionist challenges.
Yes.
And I just adored it.
So you did all of the, you'll have to forgive me, I'm forgetting what they call it. The all of the challenges that are the Dandori challenges. I got there. Dandori. Yeah. So I did not do all of those.
Yeah.
But especially like the extra spicy ones.
Oh yeah.
I think those were really just the ones I didn't do.
You just didn't play them, or did you?
I dabbled with them, but I think I got to a point where I was like, this is getting very difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so cool. I'm thrilled that you like played the whole thing and loved it.
I'm sad it's over. And even this is, I guess, a spoiler for Pikmin, kind of. But I mean, you're trying to rescue Olimar, but like, there are Olimar missions that are like very much reminiscent of Pikmin 1.
Yes.
That I thought were delightful, and also that was probably one of the hardest parts of the game was the Olimar missions, because you only get the 3 types of Pikmin: red, blue, and yellow.
Right, but that and it's a fixed timeline, right? You have 10 days
to repair your ship.
it. Yeah. Which is exactly the format of the first Pikmin, right?
Yeah.
That you have a fixed timeline and only the 3 types of Pikmin, because of the only kinds that existed at that time.
Yeah.
But the difference being that you have Moss. You have a dog to ride around.
Which is another dog that I'm like, I love this dog. I love Moss.
Is good. She's good.
I love Moss, dude.
Yeah, it's it's not often that Nintendo like invents a new character where you're like, I don't know, that thing's timeless, but Ochi and Moss, timeless.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. This is Matt's hot take of the podcast.
All right, and I believe we have a sound cue for that. No, we don't.
Okay, but I think Ochi is far superior to Poochie.
Oh yeah, for sure. How do you? Okay, I like that take. That's a good take.
Thank you.
Let's put Polterpup in the mix.
Oh, Polterpup is good.
Polterpup's pretty good. So if we're ranking them,
for me, I think it's Ochi because he has more expression because he has eyes.
Sure. Okay.
And unfortunately, Polterpup doesn't have eyes.
Unfortunately, no
They're
eyes.
They're just sockets. They're just little ghost sockets.
Sorry, Polterpup, you got no eyes. Okay, so number 1, Ochi. Number 2, Polterpup.
Yeah.
Number 3, Poochie.
Poochie down there. Poochie's kind of. I've never liked Poochie's.
Problem. We don't talk enough about this.
Yeah.
Poochie's no good. He's like, he belongs to an animal sidekick. that's a problem,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and I don't like his design that much. I think he looks like a little gremlin, like
He does.
a little. I don't know.
I-
Sorry to the Poochie fans out there.
But the problem is like Ochi's not a gremlin too. Like Ochi's also kind of gremlin-y.
But he's so expressive. Anyways,
He's so expressively very cute.
dude, I
yes.
love Pikmin 4. I love Ochi. Need an Ochi plush like now.
I
Like,
know.
Yeah.
Well, and so I collect amiibo, and so one of the amiibo that I have is the Yarn Poochie. Right?
I have that one too, but it's Poochie.
But it's Poochie. They have yet to make an Ochi amiibo.
Yeah. It needs to have.
I'd be there. I'd be there right away.
Yeah.
Ochi and Polterpup. I need them both.
Polterpup, absolutely. So I've been playing that, and then I also am starting Bravely Default.
Oh yeah.
Second Fairy or something.
No, yeah.
Flying
the
Fairy.
Yeah, I think it's just
It's a
Flying
remaster
Fairy, yeah.
of the first Bravely Default. I'm like 6 hours into it. That's been my new game after I beat Pikmin 4.
Had you played Bravely Default on 3DS?
I did not. So that's why I'm really stoked, because I played Bravely Default 2. I didn't play Bravely Second, but I played Bravely
Right.
Default 2,
Right.
which I enjoyed. I played that to completion. So
Yeah.
this is scratching that itch. It is a challenging game. I
Mhm.
will say this is not. This is I would say for more advanced RPG players, because it is very challenging, even early game. But I
Right.
really enjoy that. I love the job system, and it allows you to explore a lot of different options and build your party to whatever you need.
Is the so the combat's turn-based, right? Is it it's sort of similar to the combat in Octopath Traveler, right? Where there's
Yeah.
where there are like turns that you kind of just like wait
You
so
can
that
like
you
basically
can
accumulate an action points, right?
yeah,
And you can like unload, or you can go into a deficit, but then you have to wait like 3 turns. if you
right,
don't
to
have
like
any.
come back. Yeah.
It's the same, basically that system as well. But yeah,
Yeah, and I really like that system in Octopath. I've not played any of the Bravely games. But I should
Yeah.
probably fix that at some point.
they're charming, and if you like music, I think Bravely's got a fantastic soundtrack.
Yeah.
The Bravely series is very good, just like Octopath. I mean, that's Square Enix.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
So,
That's true.
but I find it very charming, and I think the art style of the characters, because they do like this chibi kind of version, it's
Yeah.
not for everyone.
Right.
So I understand that.
It's they look a little bit to me like well, I guess this is how they looked on 3DS, but like the 3D remakes of the Final Fantasy games
Yeah.
that were on like DS and 3DS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it feels like that, but the overworld, and I think, and I didn't play the first one, like I said, but it looks incredible on the handheld,
Yeah.
dude. Like it looks like you're looking into a little. It reminds me of like as good as like when you had the 3DS and you was like looking into a box and you see the world.
Yeah, sure.
That's what it kind of reminded me of. I think the art design's incredible for like the world. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So
It's I have been impressed, during this like initial period with Switch 2 of just like how stuff looks on it.
Yeah.
I had picked up Street Fighter 6 when the system launched. But just hadn't really gotten to it. And I've played a couple rounds now, and it's shocking to me how much it looks like the PlayStation 5 version. Like and I know it's not, and I'm sure that there are ways in which it's performing worse than on PlayStation 5, but like I don't know, man, good enough for me. I'm having a great time with it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And yeah, so I think the handheld has been performing great. I just wish, like the Steam Deck, if it's going to perform better graphics wise, the battery's going to be
Right.
less, but that's fine.
That's always going to be part of it.
Yeah. But I've been digging it, dude.
All right, cool. Well, that's what we've been playing this week. Let's get into the new releases and what we might be playing next week. All right, first thing is first, of course, Matt, the Nintendo Music app was updated just before we started rolling, a little bit later than usual. These updates have usually been pushing around 5 o'clock Pacific time. This one was after 6 o'clock. We got new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe added to the Nintendo Music app.
Oh, right on.
Which, is fine.
Yeah.
It's a fine little soundtrack.
That's awesome. I honestly didn't know that they updated, like you were keeping track of the drops.
Oh yeah, we bring them up on every new release segment here, so
That's
that because it's like one a week basically.
Yeah.
So.
I guess I dabble in the app, but I don't follow it like that. But I guess yeah.
Well, it's tough to follow because like a lot of weeks it's some Game Boy game and you're like, okay, what am I gonna listen to that? No. But every now and then they drop something like really interesting and weird. A couple weeks ago it was Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics.
That. Yeah.
And that's like such a weird collection of like Nintendo working music and just like sort of ambient like beeps and bloops
Yeah.
where like I could put this on and like get some work done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's what a strange little app, and I don't know if New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe does anything for me in particular. That most of my like musical impression of that game is the Koopas dancing to it.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And when you're just listening to the music, there are no Koopas in the real world to do that.
There's not.
You can do the dancing yourself, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Which is okay.
Yeah, I mean, so like, and that's like I feel like that specific Mario game, nothing that jots out because it's a lot of remixes of like OG Mario, and I don't know, I'm not a big fan of the overworld music of that one. Like,
right? Because it's
yeah, that one like it's fine.
Exactly.
But, like, it's not like the Piranha Plants on Parade. I'm like, oh, I know where that is.
Yes,
like,
right, from Mario Brothers Wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's it lacks the sort of like iconic quality of like the original Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario World or 64 or like really any of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like kind of like quiet and inoffensive, and it's like okay, great. All right, games coming out this week. As usual, I pulled up like a list of everything coming out on Switch. And outside of the game coming to Nintendo Switch Online, the Nintendo GameCube, which is Mario Strikers, there's not really anything on here that I wanted to shout out. But you just gave me a whispered, excited yes at the mention of Super Mario Strikers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That game.
Talk to me.
Okay, first off, I think the first one is like my favorite one. I have a ton of memories playing that with my cousin before and after school. I'd go to his house and we'd walk to school together and play that game, before we went.
Yeah.
I think in terms of arcade, like I feel like it feels the best to me.
Okay.
I've played all of them, and it's the one that has like there was later on it's where they just did like robots and stuff, and I'm like okay. And this one it's like they gave like other characters in it. Like if I remember correctly, it was like you got the Croc and stuff like that in this one.
Okay.
Like
yeah, this one I know has like a reputation for being loaded with Nintendo personality.
Yeah.
So
I'm really excited for this to come. I think it's gonna have a good online presence, dude. I really do.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because it felt. How to explain this? The new one that came out a few years ago, which
Battle League.
That one was okay to me. It was like a fine.
Yeah.
It was another arcade game, but it felt. I don't know how to phrase it. Like the first one still feels like soccer to me, and this one it was trying to do with more of like what Mario Tennis was. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Mario Tennis is
I do get it. Well, and like there is something about this last generation of Mario sports games that all feel like kind of incomplete or like a little bit like insincere expressions of those sports.
Yes.
That I think is just like a constant like throughout them. So yeah, like let's go back to something a little bit more basic when they're inventing Mario Soccer.
Yeah.
And that is going to feel more like soccer.
Yeah. And I really do think that's going to be a huge online presence too. I'm excited for it. So
that's very cool. Have you spent much time with the GameCube library on Switch 2 yet?
I mean, there's only three games.
Yeah.
So not really. Like I did play a little bit of F-Zero because I never played that. And I'm like, this is hard.
Hey man, I put it on today. You see, my GameCube controller is out. I took it out for the first time today. And I was also playing F-Zero. I was like, oh god, I do not understand how this works.
Yeah, it's not just hard. It's like I don't know what's happening.
Yes, I don't know what's happening, and I'm like, where's the mode where it's like teach me how to play you, and I don't think it's there.
And this is something I don't know. I never. Because I also tried playing the SNES and the Game Boy, or it was the Game Boy Advance game that was on the online.
Yeah, there's a handful of the
like
game GBA
F-Zero
games.
in general, Patrick.
They're
hard, and I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like now there's so much to play. It's not like I bought the game like at Target and then came home and it's like I tried it, and if I wasn't immediately hooked, I'm like, I don't really know what's going on, so I kind of moved on.
Yeah, you're like, yes, that there's no sunk cost in it or anything, right? You're just like, well, I don't get it, so I'm walking away.
Yeah, that's my take as of it. Because I didn't grow up playing F-Zero. I just knew him from Smash Bros.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because like for me, F-Zero occupies a similar space to Punch Out,
Mm.
where like I know that people are like fiercely loyal to it and love it, and I'm sure that if you grew up like figuring out how to play both those games,
Yeah,
that it can be a satisfying, fun,
totally agree.
nostalgic experience now. But I'm just like, I just miss that boat.
Same.
And in some ways, I'm like, it's okay. I don't need to enjoy everything in like all the meats of the Nintendo stew. But that's how I felt about Pikmin until they hit me with the right Pikmin.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, no, I need all the Pikmin.
They just need an Ochi on wheels, just like
This is what they need. This
Yeah.
is what we need. We need to add Ochi to Punch Out. He doesn't have hands, but it's okay. But yeah, so Mario Strikers will come out on July 3rd. And then nothing else really of note there. There is a Nintendo 2025 eShop summer sale happening from now until July 9th. And so it's low prices on a lot of stuff, including some first party games and games that like I've been keeping an eye on to pick up when they're on sale. So we thought we'd just shout out a couple here from the list. Anton Blast is $16. Normally it's $20, which that's a Wario Land like. And Mark and I just did Wario Land 4 for NCS Arcade, and we're both kind of like, yeah, I could go for more of this. Disco Elysium is $12. It's normally $40 on Switch. What else do we have here? Layton's Mystery Journey DX is $24. It's normally $40. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. This is the first time it's gone on sale. It's normally a full price $60 game, is $42. Mark and I both really ended up liking Luigi's Mansion 2 HD.
You rebought it?
Oh no! I mean, yeah, we both bought it when it came out last year.
Nice.
After sort of being like, what's the point of this? Why are they doing this?
Yeah.
And being like, oh no, it's just like it's a really solid game. And the like bite-sized like takes on each of the individual mansions like kind of felt good. That like I had an easy stopping point to be like, okay, I'm going to play the game for 15 minutes, and then it's like the mission is up. Come back if you want. And I'm like, no, it's all right. I'll take a break. Yeah. Really enjoyed that game. $42 is still kind of a lot for it, but it's cheaper than it would be otherwise. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope is $14. It's normally 4 times that. The Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection is $30. That's half price.
Yeah, great series if you ever play it. It's not action. It's like action RPG.
And like kind of grid based.
Yeah, grid based action RPG.
Yeah. Cool stuff. Nintendo Switch Sports is $28. It's normally $40. Nintendo World Championships NES Edition, one of the coolest games from last year, is $21. It's normally $30. Penny's Big Breakaway, cool indie game, $15. It's normally $30. And Persona 5 Royal is $20.99. It's normally $60. But Matt, ever the eagle eye, pointed out that the Persona Collection, on Switch, which is 5, 4, and 3.
Yeah, specifically the expanded edition too.
Right, of all of them.
Yeah,
right.
Well, 3 is portable, but it's like a different take on 3. Anyways,
that is only $39.99, and normally goes for $90.
Yeah, it's a great. That's an incredible deal. That's like 400 hours a game.
Yeah, if it's like dollars per hour of gameplay, it's like the best deal you could find. Also, Tetris Forever is on sale for $25. It's normally $35. Tetris Forever is the like collection of Tetris games that has all of this like behind the scenes like info about how those games came to be and the different ports and all that kind of stuff. I'm a big Tetris head, and I missed this one when it came out, but I'm definitely going to pick it up while it's on sale.
Nice.
All right. So those, Matt, are the new releases and a rundown of games that are on sale. Let's close this segment out. Which brings us to a regular segment on our show. It's time for 433. In 1952, American composer John Cage wrote a piece called 433, where a performer or group of performers didn't play their instruments for 4 minutes and 33 seconds. For the purposes of this show, our instruments are talking about Nintendo. So for the duration of one performance of 433, Matt and I will talk about something not at all Nintendo related, thus fulfilling the contract of the piece. Matt, you wanted to talk about movie theater sound.
Yes, I did, Patrick.
This is great. I love this. I'm currently in the market for some speakers for a home theater situation, but I gotta what made you spark to the idea of talking about theater sound?
Something that I think, because I was thinking a lot about what I enjoy in movies, and I go to movies all the time. I have A-list. I'm an A-lister.
Yeah, you are.
However, I find that there's a kind of a little bit of a decline in moviegoers, and I think especially outside LA. LA, I think we're the movie theater business is popping.
Sure.
But in like outside of LA, there is a problem where people are not going to movies. And I think a big part of that is the experience and not putting the attention to detail into making the best cinematic experience for a viewer. And for me, the biggest thing that usually comes is the biggest issue is sound mixing at a movie theater.
Okay. And you're saying like at the theater level and not like what's actually on the print of the movie. This isn't
Correct.
like a Christopher Nolan criticism.
Right.
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 Okay.
This is I think a lot of theaters mix the sound terribly. They don't even like give it a shot. Where it's like the audio, the dialogue is very quiet, or maybe the dialogue's loud, but you can't hear the music, and you're not getting the emotional effect and the feeling exactly what the director wanted to give you. And I really think that if we just kind of set the standard to kind of make the movie theater experience the best it could be, more people will go to the theater.
It's true, because like a lot of the I feel like the pitch for going to the movies is it's a huge screen, right? And that's like that's the bullet point that people hit. But like you're right, the other thing is that it is a wall of sound that like you're enveloped by.
Yeah, and with the right surround sound, you might like if you're watching a horror movie, and horror movies hit way
more
better.
Scary, yes.
You feel the sound, you feel the weight of the world. You might hear a whisper that's intentionally been programmed to come from behind you, and you're like, oh, was that real? Right. Like you're missing something with having bad sound.
Speaking of bad sound, I posed this question to you before we started recording, and I want to know if you have an answer.
Yeah.
What is the worst movie theater sound in Los Angeles?
Okay. This is kind of a broad take.
Okay.
But I feel like the worst sound is any Regal or AMC that isn't a Dolby IMAX format or Prime format.
Yeah.
Any of the normal theaters, there are atrocious sound, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. I have a single answer, a solitary answer.
Like one theater.
One theater, one screen, baby. The El Capitan Theater.
Oh, I totally agree.
The sound there is awful.
Oh my gosh.
It's especially bad if you're in the balcony.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like you don't get anything. It's like the sound, because in the balcony you're like tucked away.
You're tucked away, and like everything just gets deadened by the time it reaches you.
Yeah.
And like I've seen a bunch of movies there. I like to make an event of going to see the new Marvel movie when it comes out. They're always doing it because it's a Disney-owned theater, and like it's fun. There's an organist that plays before Thor: Love and Thunder. There was like a laser light show. It was awesome, right? Yeah. But then the actual sound in the movie, atrocious.
It's like echoey. It's like it sounds far away and like not like you're supposed to listen to it.
Far away and muffled. We saw the Eternals there, with friend of the show Ryan Mogi, and every time like that. The Celestial was on screen talking. It's already like got a big booming voice.
Yeah,
like you could not understand a word that Erishim was saying. Yeah. It was nuts.
Yeah, that theater does suck, and the seats are really uncomfortable.
That's true. The seats aren't good,
and you're really compact. I saw like Endgame there or Infinity War, and I was like, my back hurts.
So do you have like a theater that you can shout out as being particularly good? What do you think has where?
Absolutely.
Yeah, go.
The Chinese theater, the IMAX Chinese theater has incredible sound.
Yeah.
They use what do they use? Well, I guess we'll never know.
I guess we'll never know. The Chinese theater is where we're seeing Superman. So
you're gonna love it. The sound's incredible.
I'm so excited. I've never been to the Chinese theater before.
Oh, it's a good experience.
I've lived in LA for like 14 years.
And it's not the inside of the. It's like the actual Chinese theater.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Great popcorn.
All right, I'll get some popcorn too. We were accompanied today by pianist Kyle Shaw. All right, Matt, let's get into the news. Drag and Drive, or Drag X Drive, Drag Cross Drive. How are we pronouncing the name of this game?
Drag and Drive.
Like like we're driving a dragon. Yeah. Like we're going to a golf course with a dragon.
Let me say as if we're on voice chat, and I'm gonna pitch it to you.
Yeah, great.
All right. Hey Patrick, you want to play Drag and Drive?
No. that how that would go?
Yeah, so I guess I would say dragon, but I say things weird. I've been told.
I like the way you say things, Matt.
Thanks, man.
Dragon Drive now has a release date and a price. This comes to us courtesy of the Nintendo Today app. It's coming out on August 14th, and it is $20. It's going to be a digital exclusive game, meaning no physical version has been announced at present. And Nintendo doesn't normally do like partnerships with like limited run or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think we can reasonably assume that this game is only ever going to exist in a digital format. Matt, you went to one of these Switch hands-on events before the Switch 2 came out. Did you get to play any Dragon Drive?
I did. I played a whole round of Dragon Drive.
Okay,
with,
tell me about it.
A few other people. I think $20 first off is a good price. I wouldn't pay more for that, but
yeah,
the game experience in general, it's for me.
I think that says everything.
Yeah. Like I wanted to really like it, and there were moments I had a lot of fun, but but then it's those moments where I was getting into the sphere of having a lot of fun, where I would start dragging and driving faster, where my mouse would come off of the mouse pad to try to sprint back across the court or whatever, and it felt like it wasn't as responsive as I'd like it to be.
Interesting. Okay.
Because I feel like your mouse isn't supposed to, I think the mouse for Prime worked incredible.
Yeah.
But your mouse is staying on like the mouse pad or like the desk. Yeah, but for this, you're lifting up, you're doing like literally a wheelchair pushing motion, lifting the mouse up and down.
Right, to like re-grab the wheel.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I felt that hurt the game.
Yeah, sure.
Which is a bummer.
It's so interesting because it's like, you saying that it's like, yeah, the mouse works well like a mouse when you're using it for things you use a mouse for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, we've never had an experience where it's like, okay, now here are two mouses and you're going to pretend to be rolling wheels with them.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me that it wouldn't be a super compelling experience. I wonder at $20, for me, that feels like the perfect price point for me to be like, great, I'm not gonna, telling me that it's only $20 worth of game is where I'm like, great, I'm not gonna pick this up.
And that's where I'm like, what's gonna really make this game people want to play is, I think, like the levels and the costume. I didn't see any of that. It's very bland.
But is there any of that in there? Like,
I don't know.
That's having a $20 price point makes me think like it's just going to be these sort of like generic robot guys, and maybe there are different like
you're blue and red.
Yeah,
that's the color.
That's I was about to say like maybe there are different paint jobs or like finishes on the robots or whatever. But
it's hard to say and I don't think it'll get like a direct. It's not gonna get its own direct.
No. That's
Yeah, but it's the world itself. It could have been cool. It could have looked like Rocket League or something, but it just is like a void of gray and black, and it's just not exciting to look at, which was a bummer. There were moments I had fun. The moments I had fun though is like when you go off ramps, you could like do, there's like half pipes all around.
Yeah, sure.
And like you can do like tricks, like you can the way you like turn your wheels in the air, you can like do like a 360.
Now, okay, that is cool.
Right?
I do like that.
Yeah, and then whenever I made
but Tony Hawk's coming out like 2 weeks before that, so
yeah. And what I really like, this is like a goofy feature, but if you make a shot and if you don't have the ball in your hands, you can like wave your hands around like this, like up in the air, like.
Oh yeah,
so
sure.
whenever I would make
it's reading the motion.
It's reading the motion. So I would literally when against the other team, they're like a 5-year-old and his dad.
Yeah, sure, great.
I like would dunk on him, and then I would like lift up the Joy-Con and be like,
just like pumping your fist,
my fist up, like kind of taunting him. So that was really fun.
Okay, that is cool. I didn't know you could taunt a 5-year-old and his father in this game.
Yeah. It turns out you can. Yeah,
I mean, I do like that.
Yeah, and like you can. There's passing, and there's gonna be like a skill gap for sure. It's just the main controls to me didn't sell. I don't know. It didn't click as I'd like it to.
Yeah. Well, and it feels like August is also when the Kirby DLC comes out, right?
Right.
The Kirby and the Forgotten Lands Starcross Worlds is also coming out in August.
Yeah.
And the in towards the end of July is when the Super Mario Party Jamboree plus Jamboree TV when that comes out.
Yeah.
So like we're starting to get like a pretty clear image of the summer release schedule, which after Donkey Kong Bonanza, it seems like is kind of like swimming in like middle exciting waters, I'm excited for more Kirby stuff.
That I am excited for because I loved Forgotten
Forgotten
World?
Land. Yeah.
Forgotten Land. I thought that was a great game.
Plus Starcross World.
Right. Sorry.
Which, your confusion is understandable, Matt.
But like that one,
yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to go back and play because I did play a little bit, and it is like new. It's like new levels. I'm like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and like, you know, I loved Forgotten Land, but one of the things about it that like, you know, the second a character was like 10 feet away from Kirby or like the camera, they slow to like 4 frames per second,
In
right?
the background,
like that was really economical with like it was saving its RAM by, you know, doing that kind of stuff and really like blurring things out. And the footage that I've seen of Forgotten Land is like, nope, everything is just, you know, fully animated all the time, and that's you know, that's awesome.
In terms of the DLC, or I guess what do you call these?
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't know what you call these. Like
they're like
game.
expansions, really.
Yeah, expansions. Yeah. That's the one I'm most excited for. I did play a little bit of Jamboree's Bowser TV mode.
Yeah.
And it was I only because at the event you only got to play like once, you know.
Yeah.
And I did not like what I played. It was like I played again with myself and like a dad and his kid.
Right. Good.
And like it was using the camera. That was what the feature was showing off for this event, and it was like mini games were really short and not fun. Like one mini game was like it was kind of like Shy Guy Says, and I'm like, okay, that was the best one.
Sure.
And then the other mini game was like dance and scream really loud.
Yeah,
and I'm
so
like, really?
there's a mode in the original Super Mario Party, kind of like that, but it's all like based on like your motion controls, and you're like kind of doing like a little like step in place like dancing.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm doing something obscene with my hand as I'm demonstrating that for you. But and that mode I rather like in the original Super Mario Party, and there's nothing like that in Jamboree.
Yeah.
And I think this is gonna kind of take the place of that. I think it'll be fun on like, you know, the rare occasions when I'm hanging out with the 5-year-old and his dad, or, you know, with like nieces or whatever.
Yeah.
That it'll be fun to get like the whole family in on it.
Yeah, you see your face on like, you know, Bowser's about to like lava you, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, it's my face. I'm getting lavaed, you know.
Right. Yeah. When your face is getting lava, that's fun. And then there's also the roller coaster mode where
I like that one.
Yeah, so that looks like an extension of the river rafting, the white water rafting from the first Super Mario Party.
Don't let me sway you. I feel like the demo that I picked that was like randomized, I felt like it was just I got unlucky. So
yeah, sure.
My first impression I didn't care for, but there are things in like the roller coaster thing I thought looked great. So
yeah, well, and like I'm fully prepared for it to suck. You know, like, I think that's totally possible.
Yeah.
The one of these that I am excited for is Kirby, right? Like
Same.
that's kind of it. So anyway, Dragon Drive filling out our summer, and I think, you know, it'll probably be like in the fall when we get like Metroid Prime 4 and you know, Pokemon Legends and Kirby Air Riders, that'll happen in like September, October, November, around there.
And Silk Song. It's coming.
And Hollow Knight Silk Song, you know, reportedly coming out at some point this year, right?
2026.
No, I think they've said 2025, right?
That's what I meant. 2025.
Oh yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
I forgot what year it was. My
bad. I hope also that Hades 2 comes out this year.
Yeah, that was another game I did get to play on this at the event.
Oh, did you?
I guess
looked
great.
Oh,
Felt and looked great. It was
I love that first one. It smells like we got a skunk outside, Matt. Outside the Atwater studio here. I'm just smelling some skunk right now.
That is definitely a skunk.
That is definitely skunk.
Yeah.
Well, that happens around here. Moving on. ArcSystem Works, the studio behind 2024's Another Code Recollection, has announced a new game coming to Switch 2 this summer. The game is called, and bear with me because it's going to sound like I didn't say the name of a game, but the name of the game is Dear Me, I Was. Taisuke Katsunaki is the art director of the game, notable as he is also the art director of both Another Code and Hotel Dusk. These are Nintendo published narrative light puzzle games, and it sounds like there's a new one of these coming out, which is exciting and cool. Mark was a big fan of Another Code Recollection when it came out at the beginning of 2024. I don't know if you dabbled with it at all, Matt.
I missed that one. Yeah,
it was a tough hang for me.
Yeah.
Just because like the pacing of it is you know, quite slow. But it's cool that there's still like a home for this sort of experience.
Yeah, I think that's really, really cool, man. When did they say there's a release date?
This summer sometime.
This summer. Cool.
Here's the only information we have is this little bit from the press release. Dear Me, I Was is an interactive adventure that lets you enjoy a story woven with beautiful visuals, fusing the vibrant watercolor style of Taisuke Katsunaki with rotoscoping technology. The lifelike characters are sure to deeply move your heart. In this story, you will relive the life of a certain woman, experience joy, sorrow, and growth throughout her ordinary and humble life. Witness the story she weaves in an interconnected in a life interconnected with others. And the reason I wanted to read that all out is like there's no hook there. Really interestingly, there's no mysterious missing father. There's no murder. There's no detective.
Yeah.
It is experience joy, sorrow, and growth through her ordinary and humble life.
That is interesting.
Like, isn't that bizarre that it's like, usually with a storytelling game, it's like, here's the hook. Here's the interesting, cool thing that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And this one, they're like, I don't know, she's a lady. She knows some people.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's really strange. Yes, I agree.
Wow.
But anyway, Dear Me, I Was, which is, so Dear Me, comma, I was, ... Just a lot of strange things happening.
Maybe that's what it, like, that is the hook. Is like, what was she? What was she? We gotta find out.
Well, and so they're saying that you relive the life of a certain woman. I don't know. Everything about this is fascinating to me.
It's honestly, it's probably gonna be a banger, man.
It might be
like,
a banger.
Art, like
the art is gorgeous, and like combining Kanasaki's artwork with like rotoscope stuff, feels like a very like, you see that movie Waking Life?
No.
It's like like a rotoscoped like trippy drama from like the late 90s, early 2000s. That like anyway, I think this could have like a lot of those kind of vibes where there's like a little bit of an uncanny valley, because rotoscoping means that you're taking like filmed footage of human actors and then drawing over it. And if it's using Kanasaki's art style over that, like I think it could be a visual feast if nothing else.
I think that what they're saying though, you're probably gonna feel all those emotions.
I mean, I'm hoping so. It's just, there's no other hook here. So so anyway, that's also going to be crammed into this summer sometime. Not being published by Nintendo, but this is the studio that worked on the last thing with Nintendo. So. All right, Matt, let's talk about that recent update to Mario Kart World and why it's gotten the Mario Kart diehard so upset. Last week, Nintendo released an update, version 1.1.2, which had some performance bug fixes, but it also changes the way the random option worked in online versus mode races. So, when you are voting for a track and what you want next, you have to select one of the nearby tracks, right? Mm-hmm. Because of the way Mario Kart World works, it's all connected by this open world. So you have to choose between like one of the 3 tracks that there's a direct route to from the track that you're currently on. However, you can also select random. And if in selecting random, it bops you to another place on the map. And then it's, instead of having the intermission track, and then a single lap afterwards, it's just straight up 3 laps of that track. People who are playing Mario Kart Online a lot got to like that being their preference, where they're like, random every time, don't ever pick a track near it, so we don't have to do the intermission. Part of this update is that the nearby tracks have now been thrown into the pool of selectable tracks in random as well. So now doing random is no longer a guarantee that you're going to get a 3-lap track afterwards. Yeah. People are really into the 3-lap track, which is a cool thing that this game has, but is like buried away in options that you have to really look for. Yeah, and I was one of the people using random all the time because, in my opinion, as someone who plays, and this is in Knockout Tour, it doesn't matter. This is only for Grand Prix, right? As you say, they're different games. Exactly. They're completely different games. I have different builds. Right. Which is a problem for me if I... right. Yeah, because, and I guess I'm going to use Knockout Tour as the example, because imagine
if you haven't played this yet, imagine Grand Prix is 3 laps of which is just 3 segments of Knockout Tour, and they're
Right.
very short and fast. And I think Knockout Tour works because of the length and the knockout portion of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit. It doesn't hit the same in Grand Prix. Those are very short. They're very short segments, and I feel like it loses some of the charm of the actual maps.
Right. Well, the individual, like the courses themselves, the main courses,
Yeah.
are so expertly designed,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
That like, and it's one of the things that always frustrated me about the city courses in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that were brought over from Tour, is that like they change every lap, right? And so when you do 3 laps of a thing, you can like kind of tag stuff and be like, oh yeah, if I have a boost, I'll take that jump next time.
Exactly.
Or like, ooh, can I squeeze between those things? I'll figure it out next time.
Yeah.
And if you are just driving a one-way track to get there and then a single lap of the track once you get there, you don't have those kinds of opportunities. And if you're choosing the Sunday, the Sky High Sunday or whatever it's called, the ice cream level in the sky, it's a very cool level, but you spend
it's
2/3 of the it's so fast, and you're like, oh, I guess we're done with the ice cream stuff now.
Yeah, and I feel like because of not only is it fast and you don't really get to feel the level, and you don't get to like kind of revisit what you've just seen and take it a little faster. I just feel like there's not enough time. Like their tracks aren't long enough for like a really true race. It feels so now it's like
right.
it feels it feels a little bit of luck.
Yeah, sure.
Like because there's so much items and such little time now. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. I feel like they've taken away a lot of the kind of practice of the race.
Right. Well, and there's also just like every Mario Kart game prior to this has been 3 laps on the course.
Yeah.
On a perfectly designed course, right?
Yeah.
And so like that is a sort of it's like online players had sort of hacked their way to a classic mode.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And now Nintendo's like, well, okay, but also now the intermission tracks are in the mix. So you can't just like do that. I can get where they're coming from and being like, no, random should be random, so even the ones that you don't want should be included in random, right? Yeah. But it's also like it's one of those like take the note behind the note sort of things where it's like just let people choose classic mode.
Yeah.
For the Grand Prix.
I don't think anyone I'm speaking for everyone.
Yeah. Matt's speaking for everyone.
I really don't think many people I don't think we like the community doesn't like this version. And I get it because that's what they promised. They promised, you're gonna race from track A to track C or whatever.
Sure. Right.
But it's not working. And I think you need to be able to give us like give the player the option, like you said, to do if people want to do that they can, but like we want to do a 3-track race.
Right. Well, and especially
how come I can't pick Rainbow Road still? It drives me crazy. Like
you really can't?
I have not played Rainbow Road online, and I don't know if that's like a luck thing or what. I have not played Rainbow Road once online.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Especially because Rainbow Road like is a straight line, right? Like it's
yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. That's so so I mean obviously then, right? If Rainbow Road is not playable online, then obviously this is something they're going to be monkeying with for a while, right? Trying to find the right mix. And like you have to assume that they'll get a handle on this.
I think they will. I think they will because they're getting a lot of backlash. And I do like if you want to keep that, because when I heard intermission lap the first intermission rate the first time, I thought I was still going to do a 3-track race.
Sure.
So like just make it where it's like 5 laps, quote unquote. The first 2 are getting there, and then the final 3 are just on the track. Like
right, sure.
Then that's great. Then I would eat that up.
Right. Right.
I just don't. That's either take it away, adjust it to that, or I don't know. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's also just confusing because it's like the connected nature of the game is being used effectively in free roam and in Knockout Tour, right?
Yes.
So it's like take that victory lap, guys. Like the open world works for that. It doesn't work for everything.
Yeah.
And I don't even think that like it's bad that like they're part of that, but like it would be better if they weren't.
I totally agree.
That's it.
Yeah. Have you done? I haven't even done battle mode. I haven't tried that once.
I did some battle mode. It was fun.
Okay.
Is
that maps or is that?
Yeah, it's maps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll try that.
But they're like a little bit, there are extra barriers up that, but because the world is so open that like you can go on to parts of the track that you wouldn't normally be racing on.
Got it.
It was good. It works pretty well. I don't know. I feel like, since, I mean, the last time I remember battle mode being like a mode that I was like interested in actively playing was like 64. Yeah. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, that's not how we play these games anymore. So Matt, you mentioned that they've been getting a lot of backlash, and like this has really like genuinely kicked off a new wave of negativity against Mario Kart World, which already online a little bit suffers from the like $80 price tag, right?
Yeah.
Some of that I feel like is overblown. The loud people are loud about it, but whatever. But the game is getting review bombed on Metacritic right now. I actually even hesitate to use the term review bombed because it's really just people saying that like this thing is worse than it was when it initially came out. So I think Nintendo's got some work to do on that.
Totally agree.
And finally, just to close the loop on a story from last week, Capcom's Spotlight presentation was pretty light on Switch-related news. We talked about it last week that they were going to be doing one, and I was like, "Hey, Street Fighter just came out. Like Capcom's on the Switch." Here's what they did talk about. Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess has reached its 1-year anniversary on other platforms, but it also came to Switch 2 on June 5th when the system launched. So there are some events, including one that introduces 8-bit style music. Okay, cool for people interested in Kunitsugami. And then Sagat is the first character coming to year 3 of Street Fighter 6. The trailer for him is crazy. They like paint him as like some sort of giant he's like a Colossus from Shadow of the Colossus, where like there's someone like running around in the mist and it's like the feet of Sagat just like stomping around. Anyway, very strange. Cool character though. I'm excited to play him in Street Fighter 6. And then along with did I say this? August 5th is when he's coming to the game. And then along with Sagat, 7 characters are getting alternate costumes. These alternate costumes, Matt, they're swimsuits.
That's gonna sell, baby.
Look, I mean, I gotta say, you put Ryu in like a little set of trunks, like, yeah, I'm interested. I want to hear about it. All right, that's the news. Let's close this segment out. Matt Acevedo, thank you so much for joining me, man. This has been great.
Dude, thanks for having me. We can talk forever, seriously.
I agree.
Yeah, so thanks for having me, and thanks to all the listeners for letting me be here and sit in this seat. And
I did go around to all the listeners and say, is it okay if Matt's on this week? They all said, yes, thank you.
You're all very nice. Thank you very much.
Like, yes, we love Matt. Thank you for checking. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Yeah, the big thing that I'm still doing, we're coming up on like, gosh, we're kind of like the last season of our show, I think. That's just a guess, but Mass Effect Adventum, our tabletop RPG podcast.
Possible series finale.
Possible. It feels like it.
Huge stuff.
Yeah, huge stuff. So check that out if you like Mass Effect. We've had a great guest on. Mark Meir has been on a few times, who's Commander Shepard, and there's a lot of other fun people. So other than that, I'm at the Matt Acevedo everywhere else.
Yeah, check them out. Check out the show. They're doing a real play RPG and like nearing the end of an epic story they've been building towards for years. So yeah, check it out. That's going to do it for this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society. Join the Discord server. I don't know. Sometimes pivoting out of plugs is hard.
Yeah, I get that.
It's cool, Matt. I'm excited for your stuff, but I also need to end this show. That's going to do it for this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society. Join the Discord. Email us. I'll send you an invitation. Anthony DeLuca made our logo. Our theme music is provided by 8-Bit Betty. You can get more of his music by going to 8bitbetty.com or by listening right now. For my co-host, Matt Acevedo, this is Patrick Eller saying thank you for listening.